Hi, guys.
What's up?
Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you guys so much for coming back and joining us.
Yes, my name is Honeybee or B, and whichever you choose is all right with me.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much for coming back and joining us for the podcast.
Yes, for the pod, okay?
That's
for the
right, that's right.
Mm.
This week, we did a much deeper dive into Dreamcatcher, which has been so much fun. I have loved everything we have heard from these girls so far. Girls, I should say women.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they are so good. I love their sound. It's just so different. And I know I've said this a couple times, even within the guide video, but a couple of their producers also work with ATs, which is why originally I kind of wanted to check them out, you know? But yeah, they're just so good and so talented.
Yeah, I really liked, what I really liked about, like, watching the guide and, like, learning about them is just the idea that they are all very individual, but every last one of them, like, can sing.
Yeah.
Every last one of them can dance. Like, I feel like in a lot of the other groups, like, there's, like, key people that are, like, known as, like, the dancers. Even though they're multifaceted, but it's, like, these people are known as the dancers. These people are known as the rappers. These people are known as the singers. Whereas with this group, with Dreamcatcher, I feel like they're all known for vocals. They're all known for dancing. They're all known for, like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, it's not necessarily so separated. Yeah. Or, like, in many groups and stuff, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, you know, I just noticed that with this group specifically, does not one certain, like, it's just all of them are just as equally, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, like, that's so edgy.
Yeah.
And it's very DDI.
Yeah.
That's
that one song definitely, the Starlight, I think it was, or something. But yeah, even like the visuals for it. Was
I feel like all their music, for me personally, I feel like it reminds me of DDR.
Gotcha.
Like, Dance Dance Revolution was like a huge thing, especially here in the States. Like, I remember growing up and we would go to the arcade and everybody would be just lined up for that machine. Yep. And this is the type of music that would be on it. And it was so catchy. Child, I remember downloading DDR soundtracks and stuff off of LimeWire and BearShare.
Yeah. Oh, LimeWire. Oh, man.
BearShare, all of them. Napster, the whole shebang.
Napster, wow.
Yes, okay. Wow. Taking it back.
Taking it way back.
But I remember those days and downloading that type of music. So yes, that's what it reminded me of. And they are so different and they're so eclectic and it's just, it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear.
Yeah, and I love that, and I don't know that we've covered a band so far, a group so far that, we've done on the podcast anyway, that has members. We did, because Lalisa's from Thailand. But I don't think we've had one that had a member from China before, so that's cool. I love that they're almost, everywhere but America, because we're ridiculous, like, learns different languages, you know? And, like, it's just part of, like, the culture to learn those different languages, and I wish it was part of ours, but it's not. But I
feel like in some places it's almost like you're expected to learn different languages.
But they, you know, so obviously she speaks Chinese and Korean, and then she was speaking English too, and you know, so it's just that was Handong, and she was also the one speaking Spanish too, right? Or am I thinking of someone else now? But anyway, I can't. I'm sorry if I'm mixing people up. But yeah, it's so cool to me. People learning different languages. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think. Well, and also as far as their artistry goes, it helps broaden that. You know what I mean?
Japanese too, because almost everyone speaks Japanese because they do. Almost every group I think that I have listened to has done some sort of Japanese release because it's a huge market for them. So
I can see that too. Like excuse me. When it comes to specifically Japanese, I was actually gonna bring that up because I feel like out of all the languages and out of all the groups that we've gotten into, I feel like Japanese was always like up there as like the one that they needed to learn, language, like the culture, everything. And I was going to ask you, like, is there a specific, because I know you've had like a deep dive into K-pop, like, is there a specific reason for that?
I think it's just a big market for them.
Okay.
But I think also China has become also a big market for them. So I know that there are more groups that I've heard of that have been, actually, I think it came up with the Blackpink. I can't remember if it was the guide or something we were watching, but was saying that they were learning, I believe it was Mandarin, because it is such a huge market. I mean, just population alone, you know what I mean?
Right.
That to release something in Chinese would be amazing, And I feel like, too, there's kind of a crossover with, because there are a couple other groups that I know of that I don't necessarily listen to a lot, but have Chinese members and things like that. So, because South Korea is a tiny country in like relation,
Right.
I think it's all about, I mean, of course, languages are important to learn and know anyway, but it's also about opening up those different markets for sure. And English is a huge one because that opens up all of, the US, Canada, and Europe, and,
it's like certain language will definitely like bring you, or like expand you and expand your reach. That's what I was looking for, expanding your reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could definitely see. Okay, well that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if there's like a strategy to that, which I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But
so they do specific Japanese releases. Just because
Yeah, because of the reach and like how I guess much further they could go.
It's so funny because there are some songs that I've only ever really heard like a Japanese version of, but then. And so you hear those sounds, and so that's kind of what you're used to hearing. But then if they release like a Korean version of it, it almost sounds like wrong. You know what I mean? Because like you're like it's a totally different sound. Similar, like, but
it's just like it's similar, but it's like it like something sounds different.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, but yeah, it's amazing to me that they all are just multilingual and do all, on top of like all of their work that they do, for the music and for the dancing and for the performing and for, all of that.
Yeah. I also too notice, but you know what I really wonder? In all the guides that we've seen, like I feel like we've learned about their parts and stuff in the group, but I feel like it's so weird, like, because we've talked about this. Like, I have like a love, I wouldn't say a love-hate, but I feel like I have a love and misunderstanding when it comes to guides sometimes, because I feel like, so like the way that I retain information or way people retain information, I feel like that for me personally, like when I'm watching it, like I feel like I need to know like key things for me to remember them. So like for instance, like with Felix from Stray Kids, I think of him having the Australian accent, you know what I mean? And seeing little things about his life and how he got there. And I feel like that when you have a guide, just in general, or a guide, specifically if you're going to make a guide like almost an hour long, I feel like it's so hard to know what details to put in, especially when you have a big group. Because I feel like I would love to know little things about Dreamcatcher, like in that. Like, I would love to know, like, where they came from, like, their backgrounds. Like, I'm saying, like, more so. Like,
gotcha.
Like, even more, like, a little more, like, in-depth. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like that it's so hard because there's so many, like, when you have such big groups, but it's like trying to find that balance of not making it just run long, you know what I mean, and filling it with
long.
Yeah. Or like maybe breaking up into two if there's such a large group, so it's like you can focus on certain members to really just like set that like special, like I said, like the Australian accent and like being from Australia, like that's something that's special, you know what I mean, about Felix that I remember. And I was looking for that within this guide, and it's exciting because it makes me want to learn more about Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, like I wish that like just guides in general just had a little more like just tidbit, like something like really, really, really unique about each person that's just like, okay, like I know who that is. Like the main person that I remember from the guy that we watched on Dreamcatcher was Wolfie.
Yeah.
Because
Sion, I believe.
Yeah, it's like the name Wolfie stuck out to me, but also like Sis was hitting those big notes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it stuck with me. And I'm like, I wish I had that for each member. Yeah. But it's also exciting because now you just get to do more research and get to like do more in-depth like look into them.
Yeah. But I think you hit the nail on the head with such a big group. It's tough to like, because I do like how they set up that guide, because it was like, okay, these are kind of like who they are within the group, but then it was like their character too. You know what I mean? So I did like that it separated it out like that, because it did give you like, okay, what do they do in the group? And then it gave you kind of examples of like their parts and things. So I did like that. Because then you got to see like, oh, okay, this is kind of their main role, you know? Right. And then I did like that you got to see kind of behind the scenes character stuff of that too. But yeah, it is so tough when there are 8 people in a group. Right. I can't even imagine. There are like there's a group called 17 that has 13 members, which drives me insane.
Lord have mercy,
drives
Jesus.
me insane. Drives me insane that they have 13 members and they're called 17. And I know that there's a reason, because there's subgroups and it adds all up to 17. But no, just no. Right. But anyway. Right. But that's so many people. It's so many people.
It is. I think that's my biggest. I feel like our delve, you know, we've never really, and it's interesting, we've never really talked about like how our delve into K-pop music is like going, I guess. And I feel like, because I feel like I saw one comment, I feel like I was looking at one of our videos and there was a comment that mentioned, that just asked like how is it going, like learning all about all these different K-pop artists and stuff. And specifically talking about Dreamcatcher, I think that it's like, it's going so great, but I'm also learning like a lot about the way that the information is presented is so different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like compared to American artists, like with American artists, like you don't see a lot of guides. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? Even with American groups, like you don't see a lot of guides.
I've never in my life seen them before I started.
Until right. And it's like, so like, I feel like it can be overwhelming. You know what I mean? Trying to take all of that in, and it's because it's so new to us. It's not a part of our culture. And I think that's what's so interesting about K-pop, is that they have all these different things set up for you to learn all about them. Whereas like, you know, in American culture, we have that, but just not to that capacity.
Yeah, no, not anywhere near
it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why it's so much to take in. Like for me, it's like, oh God, like this is so much to take in, and it's amazing, and I'm trying to retain it all, but it's just like,
well, we're doing like these deep dives on the artists, like, but we're just doing 1 week on them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We're still only spending a couple of hours with them,
right,
you know?
Right.
And so like eventually I want to learn more about them, and like eventually I will learn all their names and everything. But like, you know, that's not our purpose here. We're not going to be an expert by the end.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, for sure.
No.
You know, I'm not an expert. I mean, I've only been listening to K-pop for 5-6 months.
Right,
you know
right.
So I'm not an expert in anything.
Unless it has to do with AT.
Well, you know, I've only been listening to them like 2 months.
I know. The 80s.
No, but when you devote 20 hours of your day to watching them stuff and read about anyway, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
But no, you know, there is a whole yeah, there's so much information. And that's what I love about the guides is that someone has gone out and taken clips and put it together for you in a way that is digestible. Right. You know what I mean? Without you having to go back and watch 80 hours of content
literally
to get to the same kind of place. You know what I mean? So I do enjoy that. But yeah, I know what you mean. It is a lot of information.
Yeah.
And guys, we're, like I was saying, we're just not going to be experts right away. But
oh yeah, not at all.
But what we love too is that this community has been so amazing. Like you guys leave us all these comments.
For real.
You tell us all about them, and like it's so cool because
that's what my mind is blown. It's just there's so much information. That, like more. I almost feel like more than most American artists.
Oh, way more. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
We've talked about this before. There's just so much behind the scenes content out there.
Yes, the content.
They all have variety shows. They all have.
They were social media before social media became social media.
Oh my God.
That's how I feel about K-pop music.
Yeah.
It's literally its own. It could literally be its own social media platform.
They have taken social media and used it in such an amazing way to it's amazing. Like, just like to go back to our Blackpink marketing video we watched the other day.
Listen, y'all have to go watch the video of the guide.
It was well, try and make it through anyway. But
it was a college course.
It really was in marketing.
I mean, it was it was very much marketing in college.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot. But
it was.
But I mean, but they have used it and leveraged it to their advantage in such a way. But it's also like so cool because if you really enjoy an artist, you get to know them in such a bigger way. And it makes me anyway fall way more in love with the group and like way more invested in them for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I am I don't even want to tell you how much money I've spent on in the last 6 months. It's a little insane. I literally just Stray Kids they're releasing a full Japanese album. Like it's coming out very shortly. Well, by the time this comes out, it has already come out. I'm ashamed to tell you how much money I spent on that, but but I want it all, but it's not just about that, but it's also like every new song I hear from them, I'm rooting for them. I want them to win all the awards, and I want to, it's just, there's something about getting to know them more personally that makes you much more of a fan of them, Whereas, like, don't get me wrong, there are certain American artists that I absolutely love, or European artists or whatever, but I just don't have this depth of information about them. I don't know them. I feel like I know some of these K-pop groups, like, not personally, because I'm not a crazy person, but do you know what I mean? Like, you get to know their personalities.
It's literally just learning more about them. And you become more connected. The more you invest in any of these artists, like, it's just the more you end up learning about them, but you almost feel more connected. You almost you start looking at them as if they're damn near like your friends. When you spend that much time, on any artist, it's just you feel connected to them. Yeah. You feel closer to them, and especially if their music touches you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I just really like their Dreamcatcher has just become a huge favorite of mine. Yeah. I've definitely, all of the songs that we have listened to have been on my playlist, and I've listened to them all the time.
Well, it's actually, to kind of get into that, like to segue into our little section, we were talking about, and I know we've mentioned it before when we talked about Dreamcatcher, is the idea of this like punk, like rockish girl group, which, you don't see a lot. I feel like you don't see a lot in any genre of music and from any country, but I know specifically speaking in the US, can you name some like groups that maybe like when I look at, like, and I had mentioned this in the guide video, that when I think of Dreamcatcher, I think of The Craft.
Yeah.
Which is like a big movie here in the US, or it's like as people say, a cult classic.
Yeah.
But I feel like they just have that edge. So like, what groups maybe can you think of where it's been like an all-female group that represents something that's more edgy? Because, you know, typically females are supposed, like, in the music industry, I feel like females are forced to be like,
I don't know. So I don't know
poppy.
how all female led. I can maybe give you some more. So we were talking about this the other day about Garbage.
Because I think of all female, I think of Hole.
Yeah. Well, didn't they have? I thought they had a guy bassist, right? Didn't they? I thought so.
I don't know. I feel like
I was thinking Hole too.
Yeah.
Poe definitely comes to mind too.
There's a lot of female led, so like you were saying, like Paramore.
Paramore. What's the other? I think you said the Veronicas the first time.
Yep, the Veronica. Oh yeah, the Veronicas.
You know who they also give me vibes of, and this is not an all female either, but Portishead.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the exact type of music because Portishead's trip hop, but it's kind of that feel that I get when I hear their songs versus when I hear like a Portishead song. Yeah. Portishead is one of my ultimate groups, and like so like me putting Dreamcatcher there is like. Yeah. It means a lot to put to me, you know. But yeah, like that feeling I get, and it's I think it was Sian who's the lead vocal, gives me the same vibes as the lead singer from Portishead. Kind of just that almost like haunting, you know, super high, really. Dreamy for better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's kind of angelic in a way.
Yeah, but it also is dark. You know?
It's like it's almost like a light within the dark.
Yeah.
Like that type of feeling. And it's like just like very savior-ish. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like
there's something I love. Almost all the time, like when you have like a really harsh sounding kind of like song and then you have this beautiful voice on top of it. I love. Do you remember that band Kitty?
Sounds familiar.
Oh, I'll have to play you a song afterwards because you probably would, but they did the same. It was very like metal, punky metal kind of stuff, but then like the super pretty voice on top of it.
What about because you just said that and it just made me think, what about, is it, not the Bengals? What is their name? We got the beat, we got the beat. We got it.
You got the beat. Wow. But yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Is it the Bengals?
No.
Oh, because I was going to say that was an all girl group.
Yeah,
that was all
Bengals too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I like that. Oh my gosh, it's gonna irk me because they did that song. We got the beat, and they also did it's gonna irk me. There was a punk rock group out of the 80s that Joan Jett.
Yeah, on the Blackhearts. Yeah, but also the Runaways. So
maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think they did. We got the beat.
No.
I can't remember who did, but
because there was a movie about them.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Kristen Stewart, Joan Jett. Yep.
Listen.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. That girl can act, and she's really good. But Twilight wasn't it. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Twilight. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to ruin everyone's lives who is listening to this right now. Okay? Who likes Twilight. If you ever notice, her and Robert Pattinson look at each other a lot in the movie, obviously. And so, every time she's looking at him, she looks like she's cross-eyed. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
I'm never going to look at Twilight the same. Now I have to look. Is she going to be like this the whole time? Like,
yes.
Robert, you know I love you, Robert.
Edward.
Robert. I'm thinking of Robert Pattinson. Edward, you know I love you, Edward. Edward, please look at me.
You don't know where to look. Every time. I don't know how many times I've watched that. It's a guilty pleasure. Bad. I love those books. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Listen,
but she's so good in every other thing that I've seen her in. So, but she's a good actress. But Yeah, I mean Robert Pattinson's a great actor too. Did you watch the new Batman? Anyway,
I did.
Totally tangent.
I did. This is him. Yeah,
so
no,
good.
I did. I definitely think he was way better than the new Batman.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting because a lot of people didn't like it.
I loved it. I loved it because it was
good.
very like detective story.
Yeah.
I love Andy Serkis who played Alfred because he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But he's on a bunch of stuff. But
I thought that it's funny. I'm not a big Batman fan,
Gotcha.
so I think it was a little hard for me to like retain. And I've never seen any. I really haven't
Zoe
seen
Kravitz.
any of the other. But that's who like Zoe. The reason I watched was Zoe.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but like
so great.
she killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it. But Halle Berry was still a good Catwoman. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can say whatever you want. Halle Berry killed that part. Okay? Y'all can say whatever you want, but it was Halle Berry.
Okay, I will totally give you, Halle Berry looked amazing as Catwoman.
Yes.
I
think she did what she
did
could.
the best that she could with what she was given.
Listen, in Mariah Carey's words, I can only do the best with what I got. That's period.
That's right.
Period. But, back to Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a total tangent.
Dreamcatcher, I definitely think that they are destined for greatness. I think that they are fresh, they're new, and it's just something that is just needed within just the music realm, but especially in K-pop. I think that they are just so different, and I like the idea that they actually came out first and then literally released them and had a comeback with the two new members to it was a complete shift of what they originally started as.
Yeah, it sounded super poppy.
Hardcore.
Yeah, which is great too, but yeah.
Right, but I think they made the right decision. I think that they realized that they needed to be different. I think and it goes again, that goes with the whole idea of what I was saying earlier about how I feel like female artists are expected to come out and be bubblegum and poppy, and especially groups. Female groups are supposed to come out and be I don't know, just prissy. It's just this idea that females can't be hard, that females can't be punk, that they can't be rock, they can't do and it's no, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that they changed it.
Yeah.
I think they needed to, and now look, you know what I mean?
And I love too, I know they mentioned it in the guide, but I love when they do covers, they don't change genders. That's cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that
I'm here for it. That is a testament to who they are as artists and what their career and legacy will be.
Yeah.
They just live in their world and they want you to come and be a part of it and be Insomnia and stay awake for it all.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's funny that their name is that because I have Insomnia, so it's
that is.
It's super funny.
Ciao.
Yeah, I really love their stuff though. I can't wait to hear more. I cannot wait. And I definitely want to get to know all their names. I have a much better understanding of them now for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait. And I want to see more of their lives. So I know we checked out some stuff for Friday, which you have to stick around and check out. But I want to see more of their concert.
Yeah, like concert. I feel like the when you can get a real sense of an artist and their vocals and talent is when you look at just shows that aren't major shows. So instead of looking at the award show performances and stuff like that, look at people's actual concert videos and you can really gauge how they really are. Yeah,
that's why I liked the guide too, because it had some of that.
Yeah, it showed a lot of that.
Some of it was music shows and stuff. Yeah.
But it definitely showed especially I don't know if that video was from a show or something, but I feel like the video where they kept going to each member when they would actually switch and show a new member. Yeah. I feel like that was from a concert.
Yeah,
a fan, a fan, you know what I mean?
It did. Because there were a couple different angles and stuff like that. Yeah, so it looked like it was people's uploaded concert footage.
But stuff like that I think is definitely valuable as just a music lover, just to really see, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely here. I want to see more of that.
And I want to see just how, because we were getting such quick clips because we were only concentrating on one person at a time, I'd love to see them as a group, how they kind of perform together more, just with their dancing, but also just their performance.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Shout out to Dreamcatcher. Y'all did the damn thing.
You absolutely did.
And you're doing it.
I know. And we definitely need to know more. We want more stuff in the comments. Please let us know more about the members. If you know more, link us to some behind the scenes stuff if you think that's something you want us to check out. Tell us what songs to check out next. We definitely have some more stuff coming up. So, and we have been we've said this before. We are loving that everyone is being so free with their knowledge. That's what's so great about this community in general with K-pop that I've been finding is that they truly want to they want you to love their group just as much as they do,
Yeah.
And so they want to give you all that.
Yeah.
And
they want
help you.
Yeah, and they really want you to just be able to be on the same page and understand why they are who they are.
Yeah, exactly. So we love it. We love all of it.
Yes. And we love you.
Yes, we really do.
We really do.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know,
right.
we do.
But thank you guys so much as always.
Yes.
We love you.
Love you guys.
We'll see you guys next time.